Every Bible you've ever held contains 66 books. In the Ethiopian highlands, monks have guarded 81 for 16 centuries, including ancient writings about Jesus that the rest of Christianity left behind. Texts like the Book of Enoch were read by the earliest followers of Christ, then erased from nearly every canon on earth. When Mel Gibson pointed millions toward these forgotten scriptures, it raised a question scholars still cannot answer. On February 28, 2026, a wave of online speculation erupted after Mel Gibson, the director known for his fascination with biblical stories, uploaded a YouTube video claiming that the Ethiopian Bible contains missing words of Jesus and a vision of Christ so powerful it left scholars unsettled. In the days that followed, Gibson's words echoed through social media, repeated in Facebook groups and TikTok clips, but not a single major news outlet picked up the story. The silence from traditional media only deepened the sense of something hidden, an ancient secret guarded out of sight. While the headlines swirled online, the real story leads away from the noise and toward the mountains of northern Ethiopia. Here, the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church has preserved a biblical tradition unlike any other on earth. For 16 centuries, its priests and monks have read their scriptures in Ge'ez, a language older than most European alphabets, chanted in stone churches carved into the highland rock. The church's identity is woven from this liturgical thread, stretching back to the days when Christianity first took root in the kingdom of Aksum. Outsiders may see only the viral headlines or the dramatic claims, but within Ethiopia, the preservation of these texts is a sacred duty. The 81-book canon is not a museum piece or a curiosity for scholars. It is the living heart of a faith community. Monks rise before dawn to recite prayers in Ge'ez, the syllables echoing from parchment pages copied by hand, generation after generation. The church's reputation rests on this unbroken chain of guardianship, a legacy that has survived wars, invasions, and centuries of isolation. No official statement came from the church in response to Gibson's remarks. No press conference, no public rebuttal. In the silence, the sense of mystery only grows. Why does this ancient institution hold so tightly to a canon that the rest of the world left behind? What is so powerful about these lost teachings that, even now, they are shielded from the glare of global attention? The answers lie not in the headlines, but in the quiet rituals and the guarded libraries of Ethiopia, where the boundaries of Scripture are drawn in ink, prayer, and secrecy. 81. That is the number that quietly sets the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible apart from the rest of Christianity. While most Western Bibles contain 66 books, 39 in the Old Testament and 27 in the New, the Ethiopian canon stretches far beyond, gathering texts that vanished elsewhere centuries ago. Inside this expanded library are names that sound almost mythical to modern ears: First Enoch, Jubilees, the Book of Maccabean, and more. These are not minor footnotes or obscure appendices. They are full works, once cherished in ancient communities, now absent from nearly every church in Europe or America. The Book of First Enoch stands out. Written centuries before the birth of Jesus, it tells of angels who descend to earth, forbidden secrets, and a vision of the Messiah as a cosmic judge. Early Christians read Enoch with reverence, so much so that the New Testament letter of Jude quotes it directly. Yet, by the time the Western canon was set, Enoch was gone, its pages surviving only in the highlands of Ethiopia, preserved in the ancient Ge'ez script. There, the story of the Watchers, the fallen angels, and the dazzling Son of Man continued to echo through the centuries. Jubilees, sometimes called the Little Genesis, offers a retelling of the earliest biblical stories, but with a strict calendar, new covenants, and a sense of cosmic order missing from the familiar Genesis. It was treasured by Jewish communities at Qumran and referenced in early Christian writings, but later vanished from most Bibles. In Ethiopia, it never disappeared. Monks still chant its words, and its vision of time, measured in cycles of 49 years, shapes the rhythm of liturgical life. The difference is not just a matter of numbers. The Ethiopian canon preserves a window into a world where the boundaries of Scripture were still fluid, where stories of angels, visions, and cosmic battles were part of daily faith. For centuries, these extra books have raised questions. Why did the rest of the world let them go? What truths might be hidden in their pages? The answers remain locked in the manuscripts, waiting for those willing to look beyond the familiar 66. High in the northern mountains of Ethiopia, monasteries stand watch over valleys of stone and silence. Their walls, sometimes carved directly from the rock, have shielded more than monks. They have protected words, prayers, and entire worlds of Scripture. For centuries, these remote sanctuaries have been both fortress and workshop. Every book inside was born from human hands, not machines. Parchment began as raw calfskin, soaked and scraped for days, then stretched and trimmed until it was smooth enough to take ink. The ink itself was a recipe of patience: iron gathered from riverbeds, soot from lamps, and rare saffron or copper for color, mixed in secret ratios passed down through generations. The work was slow and often grueling. Monks would fast before copying sacred texts, believing every stroke of the reed pen was an act of devotion. Colophons at the end of many manuscripts record these sacrifices. Scribes signed their names, dated their work by the Ethiopian calendar, and offered prayers for protection against fire, water, and thieves. One 9th century colophon reads, "I, Brother Quasta, wrote these words for Abbot Marcos, praying that the Lord keep this book from harm." Such notes are more than signatures. They are windows into the lives behind the pages. Isolation was both a burden and a blessing. The clifftop monastery of Debri Damo, accessible only by rope, became a vault against war and famine. When danger crept close, monks carried precious codices up sheer cliffs or hid them in caves, sometimes vanishing for months. Oral histories tell of manuscripts saved from raiders or rescued from flood and drought by hands blistered from climbing stone. This labor did more than preserve parchment. It kept alive a canon that has vanished elsewhere, and it preserves the only complete witnesses to texts like Enoch and Jubilees. The survival of these books is not an accident of geography, but the result of 1,000 acts of discipline, secrecy, and faith. Today, when scholars unroll a Ge'ez manuscript or scan its faded letters, they are tracing the fingerprints of those who believed that every word was worth the risk. Under the glare of laboratory lights, a conservation scientist places a centuries-old Ge'ez manuscript beneath a hyperspectral camera. The device hums as it scans the fragile parchment, capturing invisible layers of ink and pigment across a spectrum from 400 to 1,000 nanometers. In moments, words lost to time, scraped, faded, or overwritten, begin to reappear on the monitor. Letters once hidden in the fibers of the page emerge, their shapes reconstructed by an AI trained on thousands of ancient Ge'ez glyphs. In one case, a folio from the Book of Enoch, damaged by centuries of handling and exposure, reveals a passage thought forever erased. The AI in-painting model, cross-checked against known Greek fragments, predicts missing characters with over 95% accuracy, restoring a theophoric prayer absent from any surviving Western text. Scholars gather around the glowing screen, their excitement barely contained. For them, this is not simply a technical feat. It is a conversation with the past, a chance to read the prayers and visions preserved by monks who believed their words might outlast kingdoms. The Multispectral Imaging Project, a partnership between the British Library and Ethiopian researchers, has digitized thousands of manuscripts, unlocking marginal notes and erased commentaries. Each digital scan is a bridge between worlds: the ink of ancient scribes, the algorithms of modern science, and the questions that have haunted theologians for centuries. Yet, even as technology reveals what was once invisible, the mystery deepens. Some passages, reconstructed by machine, describe visions of Christ in language so vivid and otherworldly that they unsettle even seasoned academics. The boundaries between myth, memory, and revelation blur under spectral light, leaving scholars to wonder what else waits, unread, in the shadows of these Ethiopian vaults. Even now, monks in Ethiopia guard scriptures the world barely knows exist. As scholars sift ancient pages, the boundaries of Christian history remain unsettled. What secrets still wait in the shadows? Sometimes, the greatest mysteries are kept not by time, but by those sworn never to reveal them.